Well, good day, everybody. So, I recently discovered, thanks to YouTube, on how to make the perfect Chinese fried chicken using boneless chicken thighs. So, everything displayed here is the ingredients that we'll be using. And first thing we'll do is make the marinade for the chicken. Now, the original recipe called for oyster sauce, which I don't have, haven't bought any yet, but I've made this once before and it does come out really good with the Worcestershire sauce. So we got a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, we got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, we got a tablespoon of soy sauce, we got a tablespoon of some light wine. I'm using some Sauvignon Blanc. We got a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and we got this is 1 teaspoon of dried ginger. And that's pretty much it for the actual marinade. So let me get that blended real well. And this is how the liquid looks once it's blended together. The original recipe used white pepper. I'll substitute that for cayenne pepper. A little Cajun flair to it. And it also called for fresh ginger, which I don't normally have that on hand, but I always have ground ginger. So I'll substitute it, what they called for, with just the ground ginger. And there's our marinade. Now let's debone the chicken. And for the chicken, put the skin side down. Your bone runs like this. And you always waste a little bit of the meat, but I'll try to get it as close to the bone as you can on each side. Then I'll just take it like this, put my knife through here like such, and it comes off pretty easy. And we'll also go ahead and trim off most of the fat as well, and we'll leave the skin. So let me get all that done. And the little gristle parts after, you can kind of just cut those off as well. So get all that dressed up, and I'll get all 3 pieces done. And the key to frying this, where it comes out really good, is you want your chicken to be all the same flatness all the way across. So if you got any spots that are bigger than the rest of them, just kind of shave them down until you get a nice, everything's even all the way across. So that's one of them done. So let me do the rest of them. Okay, now we'll go ahead and prepare the marinade. You can coat them one time if you want in the bowl, but I usually it's just easy just to pour it and then just do both sides of your chicken in the marinade like such. Because we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes. So I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, put it in the refrigerator for 10 minutes basically. So let me get all 3 of them done. And you can do about four chicken thighs with this recipe. And the next thing we'll do is get our vegetables ready. I'm thinking about a 1/4 of a cup of each. So I'm gonna already cut the tops off of these for my green onion tops. So I'm gonna just take the rest and kind of chop them in little cubes, about like such. I'm gonna use 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and get those ready as well. And these all go in at the same time. So basically just kind of, peel your garlic. And then just kind of slice, make some real thin slices with them, the best you can. Not really minced per se, I'm going to just slice them. And then for the onion, we're going to cut these in, I'm going to use about a 1/4 of a cup of the white onion as well as the red onion. And I'm going to just basically cut this in some slices. Kind of thin, and same with the red onion, just basically just kind of slice them pretty thin. So let me get all that done. Like I said, I'm gonna use a 1/4 of a cup of each and just 2 cloves of garlic sliced. All right, so I got the vegetables chopped up, chicken's marinating. I'm gonna put enough olive, this is just vegetable oil. I'm gonna put enough in the pan to get a good coating, and that should be all we need to fry the chicken in. So I got that on medium heat. I'm gonna get that up to temperature. And now we'll get some corn. This is just plain old cornstarch. And I'm gonna get about a 1/2 of a cup. That should be plenty to fry the 3 pieces in. And if you need more, you can add more, but we're just going to lightly dredge them in this. And the way we do it, you basically get one of your pieces of chicken, make sure the marinade's nice and coated on both sides of it. Like I said, make sure your chicken's all the uniform thickness, and don't matter what side you do first. We'll do the first side, and like I said, we just want a light little dredging of the cornstarch in it, and just kind of shake off the excess. And that's the first one, so let me get the other two done. And as you can tell, I had a little bit more of the marinade left, and I had a little bit more of the cornstarch left. So, this would have probably been enough to do 4 pieces total. And basically, we're going to go ahead and, once you get your oil nice and hot, we're going to do the skin side down. And I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Looks like I'm going to have to do this in 2 batches. So, my pan's not quite big enough. So basically, as soon as you put them in, just kind of give it a little shake. That way it won't stick. And do this on a pretty low heat because the cornstarch browns pretty quick. So we'll do like 1 minute. We'll flip it 1 minute, and we'll just keep turning it every minute or so. So I basically turned them. It was even less than a minute, and that's how the side looks. So just keep that in mind. The cornstarch tends to brown pretty quick. So every minute or so, you want to flip them. And it's a good idea also as you're cooking to kind of like move your pieces around in the pot, because certain pots have different hot spots. That way it's an even cook. I checked these with my meat thermometer, and they're both done. That's how they look. Now I'll go ahead and do my other one. Like I said, this is how fast I started the timer when I put my chicken in. I already turned it once, and you see how brown it is already. So I'd say after a minute, you want to start turning it. And ideally, you want a pot big enough to do all of them at the same time, which I was hoping I could do it in this one. So, because the next step, they all got to be in the pot to finish the dish. But I mean, they fry so quick. I mean, about maybe 5 minutes or so and they're done. So just keep that in mind. But just get a pot that's big enough to fry all of them at the same time. Okay, my last piece is done. Go ahead and take him out. Now we'll go ahead and get ready to do the next step. So I want to keep all my little bits in there for my next step. So I'm gonna just drain through a little colander and leave some grease in the pot. You don't want to get rid of all of it. And now we'll go ahead and do the next step. All right, I got my pan back on my fire, and we'll go ahead and get our vegetables. And this will go pretty quick. Got my fire on a medium-low heat. Just about a minute or so. Just want to get them to start cooking just a little bit. All right, this was about a minute or so. Go ahead and put our chicken back in. Now we'll take 1 tablespoon of our white wine and just kind of go around the edge of the pan with it. As soon as you do that, put the lid on and time it for about 1 minute. And you can actually lower your fire down to all the way to low. And that just gets the everything kind of infused into the chicken. It really does help the flavor of it. All right, that was 1 minute. Chicken is done. Let's get it plated up. So it's really a simple dish, not real involved. This is how you make the Chinese fried chicken. Comes out really good, very, very tender. And I'm actually kind of served this where we take all the vegetables, we kind of put them on the bottom of the plate. My aromatics. Then you kind of put your chicken on top. Something like that. Thought that's gonna be good. So that's how you do it. Chinese fried chicken. Well, of course we gotta have a little taste. See what we got here. I'm gonna cut a little chunk off of this one right here, I think. I mean, this chicken is like so, it's just so tender. I mean, it's the marinade just does something very special to it. Like I said, this is just like the Chinese chicken you get in the restaurants. The taste is identical. Well, let's give it a taste. That melts in your mouth. I mean, it's just perfect every time. And I never fry chicken in cornstarch. This is the only time I do it, when I'm making this. But that is just delicious. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Thanks.